to the first review for Sarah's stage and screen scene. What I meant to say on my introduction is if I came up with that title from a journalistic point of view, I would be told to change it straight away because it's too much of a tongue twister. SSSS, Sarah's stage and screen scene. See, it's quite hard to trip off the tongue. But I want to be creative with this channel, and I thought it might be something fun to do down the line. Might even have a tongue twister challenge like red lorry, yellow lorry. So I've picked something unusual as my first review just because it's in my mind. I hoping this week to review Oppenheimer and the Barbie movie while they are still while the hype's still about. But I need to actually see them. And Oppenheimer, I want to see in the cinema to get the full, immersive experience. So what I'm going to review the latest episode of And Just Like That, called 100 Years Ago. It's episode 8, season 2. Now, reason for this is I have hate watched this show since it started. I'm original Sex and the City lover. I was in my 20s while that was first airing. I loved it, loved everything about it. And Just Like That, not so much. I agree with a lot of these bad reviews. I've stuck with it mainly because I've enjoyed sort of watching and then listening to the reviews for the comedy effect. And I wouldn't normally start reviewing a series slap bang in the middle or well towards the end, but since it's just aired, I am going to do that and continue to review it till the end of this series. Then I will go back to the beginning of season 1 and I will review it then, if I must, because it was quite painful. Okay, so let's get cracking to it. I won't always have such a long introduction. This is just with it being the first one. Okay, so we'll start with Carrie. So Carrie and Aiden are back together. They are caught up. They are in a whirlwind of a romance. They're staying in the hotel because Aiden can't base her apartment because of the past. And there's the scene at the beginning where he's talking to her and she's rubbing her feet all over his chest. And he's rubbing them. I mean, like, I don't need to see that. That's disgusting. But anyway, Carrie speaks to her friends, Charlotte, Miranda, and Seema, about going to visit his house in Norfolk, and she's compared it to the house in Howard End. And Seema points out that she's actually been getting it confused with a house in Norfolk, England, and not in. Oh, here's my cat. Come to say hello. You'll probably see her a fair bit. This is Evie. Hello. So she got it confused with North England. Seema's being a little bit cagey, not looking at her, looking a bit grumpy. And then Carrie and Miranda are walking down the street, and Miranda says to Carrie, "Do you not think maybe you need to step back or slow down a little?" Now, if it was Sex and the City world, I would expect this from Miranda. This was true to Miranda. But Miranda, in And Just Like That, is somebody else. She's not the Miranda we know and love. And she left Steve and left Brady, her kid, to go with Che to LA while she filmed a pilot. So who is she to talk? But then Carrie talks about how she's having orgasms like she's never had before, even the last time she was with Aiden. And I was watching another review, and the fella, I forgot the name, the fella just came out with, he said, "Oh, Carrie's been flirting and squirting all over the place." Oh, sorry, it's just made me laugh so much. It's just stuck with me. But then Carrie starts to think that maybe Big was a big mistake. I mean, come on, writers. Carrie and Big were the big plot points of Sex and the City. I know Aiden was much nicer, but Big in the end did redeem himself before he died, and they were happy. And this is probably just a dig at the actor Chris Noth because of what's been going on outside, probably. Um, so that's where that are, and she visits Che, and Che is definitely the writers are definitely deliberately and very forcefully trying to get us to like Che because everybody has not has hated it since season 1. They thought the writer Michael Patrick King says he thought they were writing a character who they thought was a hero, and everybody disliked them. And of course, because they were just the most insufferable character. They were horrible. But like episode before, they have her saving a puppy. Now she's working in a vet. Yeah, trying to get on our animal loving heartstrings to get them. So she asked if she can rent her apartment for a B&B, Airbnb, and then Che can. Sorry, she can rent their apartment. Sorry, Che is non-binary. They're a they, not a she. I apologise. And then Che can use Carrie's apartment. And so basically, Carrie and Aiden have to pretend to be Che's cousins or something, and then Che comes and visits them and asks why it never worked out the first time, and then Carrie's like, I made a big mistake, and then Aiden just hugs her. The thing is this gonna work out? Because he won't go in the apartment because of the past history, so it's still affecting him, it's still hurting. It's nice to see Carrie happy because she's not being herself. But anyway, so we move on to Miranda, who is interning at a firm, and there are two young interns. It's stereotypical to have the younger ones portrayed as like not really up to scratch, not really bothering, but they're annoyed because they just do citations. And then Miranda comes in on the first day and she's asked to take notes at the meeting. And then they bring her a garlic chocolate chip cookie. Very strange. I like chocolate chip cookies. I like garlic, but the combination of them's a bit. Mm. And she's sitting at the table with them, and they are like texting back and forth. And anyone who's had that happen to them, that is just it's just a horrible thing to do. It's so bitchy. It makes you so paranoid. But Miranda should have just said, "Look, what do you do? What are you doing? Just pack it in." She's there for a career. She's not there to make friends. We do get eventually Miranda's boss, who's going on maternity leave, chooses Miranda to fill in her role. Um, this is a little bit more like the old Miranda because she's just disappeared from this series, but still she's not quite so, you know, tough. But yeah, I loved Miranda because she used to like have the hard, sarcastic exterior with the heart underneath, and she was the no nonsense. She told you the truth. I always admired that. Um, so Charlotte is going to work back in a gallery, and she is out shopping with Lisa to pick some new clothes. She picks a dress exactly like she normally wears anyway, so why she needs new clothes, I do not know. And then bless her, she gets the little pop stomach in the dress, which is nothing when you watch it. But I sympathise, Charlotte. I really sympathise. I spent the first 35 years of my life, maybe 36, with the flattest stomach and slimmest figure, sometimes a little underweight, so it wasn't so great. And now I'm in my early 40s, everything's changed, hormones are there, body's changing, I can't get away with not moving and exercising, and I get that my whole body shape has changed and I get that little pop belly, so I do feel here. But Charlotte looked great, and then there's the whole thing about the belt, people saying take the belt off, and then Charlotte's like, well, no, it sets off the outfit. It's a bit of at least she's getting a bit more to do than being a mother, which I will touch on in other reviews that I do. And, she's starting to have a career again because Charlotte's being quite amusing, a little bit more true to the original Charlotte, but she's not really had any storylines. It's just things to do with her kids. And can I just say, Lily is awful. She's got the most horrific attitude. She was adopted out of, what could have been quite bad circumstances, and she was raised, with a loving mum and dad in an affluent family. She had attention. It's not like she was a poor little rich girl who, whose parents didn't pay attention to her. Her mum and dad doted on her. So why is she like so horrible now? And she's 17. I always feel like you go through your teenage, like Kevin, the teenager, a bit earlier with your parents, when you don't want to know them. But when once you turn 17 and you're approaching 18, I feel like you're starting to come out of that now, and your parents start becoming your best friends again if you're close to them. But anyway, she goes to the gallery, and she meets some young people first, and then a co-worker comes down the stairs who is of larger build, to put it respectfully. And so Charlotte immediately, my cat's running around. Charlotte immediately, feels better and thinks, "Oh, I feel okay." And she like takes off all the stomach flatten on girdles and things she has on underneath, the knickers that flatten your stomach, and puts the belt back on. I mean, it's a bit of a shame that it took, someone of, just one individual, of large proportions. It would have been nice if she just turned up there and there was just a variety of people of all shapes and sizes, um, genders, features and everything. As a whole, is there anything I missed out? So we only saw a bit of Lisa in this episode. We didn't see Naya. Oh, and Seema is avoiding Carrie because she was supposed to go and summer at the. She was supposed to go and summer at the Hamptons with Carrie, two single girls, but now she's worried she's going to be fair wheeling to Aiden. So this annoyed me, the whole scene where she's avoiding Carrie and she won't speak to her and she's being cranky. I mean, it's a bit immature to me. It's like you're in your 50s. I know you haven't had that serious relationship and you're feeling left out, and it's horrible being a third wheel. I've been there, but still, it's just a little bit silly. A lot of this show's silly. Um, so overall, what to think of the episode? I do think they have been getting a little bit better, but I mean that wasn't hard because they were absolutely atrocious, weren't they? There have been moments in the last few episodes where I have seen a few elements of the original Sex and the City thrown in there, and it's not just because of Aiden being back. It's like some of the dates that they've been on, they've been a little bit more true to the original. There's still some really bad problems with the writing and the acting. As much as I sort of like Charlotte's character, Kristen Davis' acting has gone horrific. Lately, it's all very like, oh, oh, really, 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 oh, yes, yes, yes. And Cynthia Nixon's acting was awful last season. It's improved a bit, and she has a generally good actress usually. I find Sarah Jessica Parker is the one who's acting similar to the way she did originally, and it was nice to see her character. She's been a lot happier since Big died, but no, I don't think Big was a big mistake. I think that was again a dig from the writers towards Chris North, and to sort of justify Carrie and Aiden's relationship. Now, Big and Carrie were right for each other at the time. He did put her through the mill, but he did learn his lesson and he came round. So, okay, so that's my first review. It's obviously a little bit, you know, rough and hasty because it's my first one, but I will learn and I will get better. And look out for more. So, if you enjoy this, please like my video and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so if you want any announcements for when I post new content. Okay, thank you. Bye.